Sairam children. So that day we were doing this is the fourth unit, isn't it? Ishwaran the storyteller.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the fourth unit of your supplementary textbook. And we had heard half of the explanation that day. So today we'll continue with that. I would just want to know how many of you went on to check about this person, Nilesh Mishra, the storyteller. Did anyone see? Yes or no? No problem if you say no. No? Okay.
No, ma'am.
I went I went
No,
and checked
ma'am.
about him. He's actually one of the finest Hindi storytellers. So those who are interested in following Hindi stories, they can go and search for him. He's a journalist. He's a storyteller on like radio and all. He tells. He goes and brings out actual stories about the ones we don't know, and very quite a famous one. I went on to search that who are the best storytellers of India, and his name was there. But the thing is, he speaks in Hindi. So what we will do, I tried to search for some English storytellers who speak only in English, and I could find about one girl. Today, what we'll do, we'll complete this remaining video of what we were watching that day, and then I will show you about this girl. She actually speaks stories for young children. Like obviously, you people have grown up now. जिनके छोटे भाई बहन हैं घर में, they can put on these stories for their brothers and sisters, and you can also enjoy along with them because she speaks quite well. Her pronunciation and everything, and she's an Indian, so it's even more better. Foreigners, you'll get a lot of storytellers, but I was looking for someone who is an Indian and also the pronunciation is good. So I found this girl, and her name is Rohini Vij. I'll share that with you. First, what I'll do, I'll show you that day's video. Srishti, will you? No, I'll just tell Rumisha. I think one girl should be better. Rumisha, you remind me to take the attendance around 3:10.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yes, and now my screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. One second. If you want me to put down the volume, just mention. Okay.
One morning, Ishwaran asked permission to cook a special dinner because that day, that was the day when they cooked meal for the dead elder. So that was a special day. Okay. So that evening, Mahendra enjoyed a tasty meal and complimented Ishwaran on his cooking skills. But at that time, what happened? Ishwaran started narrating his story, and this time it was a story of hope filled with supernatural power. So that was a turning point, and what happened after that will also be a turning point in the story. So let's move ahead and let's unravel the suspense. He said that the factory area where they lived was earlier a burial ground. Okay. On one day, on the very first day, he had seen a human skull lying around. So again, he started cooking up this story. And this time, it was a different story. It was a story which contained ghosts. And he said that the factory area where they lived, that was a burial ground. So this reminds me of whenever we go to a school, we go to our schools. When I went to my school, my friends, they also said that this school was built on a burial ground. I think most of you could relate to it. So yes, so children do this, that this school was, built in a burial ground. Similarly, Ishwaran also said that the factory area was built on a burial ground, right? He added that he was not afraid of ghosts. He said that I am not afraid of ghosts. I saw skull, I saw so many bones, but I'm not afraid. That is what he said. On a full moon night, he saw an ugly. Then he said that there was a full moon night, and I saw a ghost of a woman. She was so ugly. She had the shrunken face. Her hair was matted, and she was carrying an unborn baby in her arms. A fetus in her arms, an unborn fetus. Mahendra became shaken. He was very scared. He became uneasy when he started, because he was having this wonderful skill of storytelling. So he knew how to make it more, scary. And Mahendra started feeling, having this eerie feeling. Okay. And then he scolded Ishwaran. So this happens in my family as well. Whenever we sit and we, plan to watch a haunted story, my mom, she is like Mahendra. She gets very uneasy and she says, no, change it. So similarly, I think in your family also this happens. Some or the other person is the scary one, and they tell you to change the channel, or they when you are narrating any ghost story or someone is narrating, they tell you to no, don't talk about all this. I don't want to listen to all this, right? So I think you could very well relate to it. He said that ghosts did not exist. So yes, we all do. अरे ये सब कुछ नहीं होता, भूत भूत क्या होता है, सब कुछ नहीं होता. Okay, and ordered him to get himself examined. He said, क्या पागल हो क्या? अपना checkup कराओ. I think you've gone mad. तुम्हारा screw ढीला हो गया. That is what Mahendra said to Ishwaran. But he was afraid. He was scared. And he started feeling uneasy from that day onward. Okay. Now herein I would bring the story, bring you to the movie Bhool Bhulaiya, जो मैंने पहले अभी just दिखाया आपको. If you remember, when Vidya Balan, she started, getting acquainted with the story of वो क्या नाम था, Manjulika, हाँ, with the story of Manjulika, she started getting acquainted with herself. All her mind was filled with the story of Manjulika, right? उसके दिमाग में पूरा बैठ गया वो story, if you remember that, है ना? So initially she was not aware, but then gradually when she came to know, she was more and more curious to know. आजू बाजू इधर उधर से पता चला उसको. She came to know the full story. And she started to imagine things in her mind. उसका पूरा दिमाग उसी के आसपास घूमने लगा, right? So similarly, when once Mahendra heard the story of Ishwaran, he started feeling uneasy. Although he said that, what are you talking? What nonsense are you talking about? Go get yourself checked. But still, he started feeling uneasy because the way he narrated the story, it almost sounded very real to him, and he started feeling uneasy. One night, what happened? Mahendra woke up from his sleep as he heard someone crying. At first, he thought that it was a cat looking for mice. As the sound became more harsh and deep, Mahendra could not ignore it, and then he thought of peeping out of the window. Okay, so this sometimes happens. Whenever we sleep at night, if we sleep at night by watching something scary, that constantly revolves around us, around our minds. Conjuring, कितनों ने देखा? How many of you have watched Conjuring?
Yes, better.
How many of you have?
Yes. Oh, yes, better. 1 second. Okay. Back to the one.
Watched The Nun. So when you watch that at night, all your mind is filled with all these, right? And you even are afraid to go to the washroom, है ना? Or you listen to strange sounds, right? And you want to see anyone is there. That is the kind of feeling that you get. Is there anyone? You desire to peep out of the window and see from where is this noise coming. But that is all in your mind actually, because just now you have seen a haunted movie, right? So that same thing was happening with Mahin. As he looked out, he saw the white moonlight and a dark shadow holding a bundle in its arms. So when he saw that, when he thought about peeping outside through the window, he saw something. He saw that the moonlight was white and there was a dark shadow holding a bundle in its arms. And then he remembered what Ishwaran had said about that lady holding an unborn child in her arms. As he saw the ghost, so he thought that it was a ghost because he correlated with that, right? As he saw the ghost, he started sweating, breathing heavily, and fell back on the bed. So this was his reaction. After some time, Mahendra thought that probably his subconscious mind was playing a trick on him and actually there was no ghost. So maybe because he was surrounded by all these incidents, just now he had like a few days ago he had heard that story from a wonderful storyteller who could convince you very easily with his story, with his art, right? So that is why he thought that most probably this is all in my subconscious mind, right? That is why I am seeing all this. Remember, in Bhul Bhulaiya, there was actually no ghost. That story was a little different because ultimately she became so engrossed with the stories that she her subconscious mind created a different kind of image, and actually she became that lady, right? So there was a personality disorder kind of a problem with that. But this over here is talking about, but I wanted to relate it because she also got engrossed in that story and started believing that that was true. Okay, so in this case also, Mahendra got engrossed in the story, and this happens in our daily lives as well. When we watch something which is scary, we start imagining things, and we say maybe he had seen something else, but he correlated with that. He associated with the story that Ishwaran had narrated, and he got very scared, right? He got ready, and the next morning he had forgotten the incident of the previous night. So that is what happens to all of us, right? The next morning we almost forget. When morning comes, oh, that was night. रात में ही सबसे ज्यादा डर लगता है, right? Ishwaran greeted him and gave him his lunch back. So it was a normal day. He said that a few days ago, Mahendra had scolded him for discussing the ghost, but last night he saw it himself. So Ishwaran said that, why did you scold me? You said that ghosts are not there, right? But last night, what happened with you? You saw it yourself, right? Ishwaran had heard Mahendra crying at night. He said that I heard you, that you were crying. And it was confirmed that Mahendra had seen the ghost that night and was not a trick played by his mind. Because Ishwara said that you have seen a ghost. So again, he is starting to, make him feel that he has actually seen at home, because Ishwara had seen Mahendra crying at night. So that is why he said that you have seen that ghost, right? So again, he is building up on his story. Once again, he made him frightened. And this time, he was so frightened that he resigned from his job, because he thought that he could never live in such a haunted place for even a single day. So that was all about this amazing and interested and a kind of funny story as well. So I hope you have enjoyed the story. This was a really great read and a fun read, right? So now, what is the message that the story is giving us? That unnatural world of ghosts and spirits, we are actually imagining them. We think about paranormal activities. We are, obsessed with these things because this is something which we actually do not know whether it exists or not. There is a huge controversy regarding that, right? So definitely, whenever something is unknown or something is hidden from us, we start to create stories around that, right? So that is merely a figment of our imagination. And if we allow our hidden fears to take the concrete shape and start believing, then obviously our life would get disturbed. And Mahendra was so good at his job, a good supervisor, but it was because of that incident he was able to get normal the next day. But again, when reminded by Ishwaran, he got very disturbed this time, because now when he had almost shaken away his fear by saying that was just a figment of the imagination, but then when Ishwara said that it was confirmed that it was a ghost, he could not live for a single day again. So he could not overcome his fear. His rational self, his rationality was submerged. His rationality was overpowered by his fear, by his subconscious self. And that is why he was forced to leave the job. And this is also a beautiful story of how powerful can the art of storytelling be. So if someone says, storytelling, so someone possesses this beautiful art of storytelling, then it can be so powerful that it can lead you to believe something as true that is not at all true, right? So such is the power of storytelling. It can make the impossible possible, right? So now we have the character sketches of Ishwaran. So Ishwaran, first of all, he was a very good cook. He used to run his errands, so he was basically.
So this is further also she's telling the same things. So what we'll do over here, what I wanted to share with you is, I'll save this thing, 1 second. Yes. I was talking about this person. Now this story which we heard was dealing with fear. And surprisingly, this story, what I found, is also something about fear. So just see this girl. She's also an Indian.
Happy World Storytelling Day to all of you. I've been wondering as to which story I should share with you since it's such a special day. I went through all my favorite stories, my notes. Just then I received a message from my father. He had shared a story, and his story really stood out because it's so relevant in today's times. So here goes. One evening, Lord Krishna and his brother Balram were taking a walk through the forest. Before they knew it, they were deep inside the forest and it had become really dark. It was too dark and unsafe to go back home, so they decided to stay in the forest for the night. They found a clearing next to a tree, and as they were settling down, Balram felt a presence, an unusual presence. Something lurking about. Balram followed it and found two eyes looking at him. With a quivering voice, Balram asked, Who is it? And right there before him, an unusual creature stood and said, I am a demon. What do you want? I want you to be scared because I feed on fear. Balram was completely taken aback and he stumbled backwards. He looked at the demon, but now the demon was much bigger. Looking at Balram in his eyes, he was big. He was much bigger than he was earlier. Balram's heart was pacing. His hands were sweaty. He wanted to turn around and seek help from his brother, but the demon was too overpowering. He looked at Balram and he came right on top of him. Balram couldn't do anything. His heart was pacing and he was so scared. And the demon was becoming bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. And before he knew it, Balram completely lost consciousness and he fell down there on the forest floor. The demon smiled and then turned his attention towards Lord Krishna. He went to Lord Krishna now and said, I am a demon and I want you to be scared because I feed on fear. Lord Krishna picked up his flute. He looked at the demon and smiled, and then nonchalantly took the flute close to his lips and began playing a melodious tune. The demon tried really hard to draw his attention, but Lord Krishna was far away, deep in his memory lane, thinking about happy memories, happy moments gone by. The demon tried as hard as he could, but Krishna did not move. And soon the demon started shrinking. Just then, Balram came around and he witnessed this, how the demon was becoming smaller and smaller and smaller, and how Krishna was absolutely unaffected by the demon. And right then, right before his eyes, the demon vanished. Balram smiled and then came and sat next to his brother. It is such a wonderful story. And when I read it, I really smiled to myself because every day we are faced with so many demons around us that are trying so hard to feed on our fears. In these times, let us be responsible and not believe half truths. Let us instead be positive, calm, and responsible. Once again, wishing you all a very happy World Storytelling Day.
I hope you enjoyed the story. How was it? Ramisha, did you like the story of this girl?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything? Pushkar, Karthik, did you like it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Reminded of that person, Simi. I think her name was Simi Srivastav, if I'm not mistaken. The one who came to our school for the storytelling workshop. And see how this girl also, it's how you express yourself with the sounds, those expressions. Automatically, your voice modulation brings that effect, and you start feeling that thing really happening in front of you. जब आप कोई स्टोरी को इतने अंदर तक आप उस स्टोरी में घुस जाओ, be it a novel, a story, anything. I'm not talking about the subject, let it be Hindi, English, anything. But if you are engrossed in that book, that means the writer, the storyteller, because the writer himself is a storyteller, he has imagined that story and put it into his words or her words. That person is successful. Only if that person is successful in bringing you into his or her story shows how capable that writer is, how engrossing the story is. And there are wonderful story writers, and not only story, I mean anything. And basically, if you see what are movies, what we watch on TV, be it English, Hindi, हमको कुछ मूवीज बहुत पसंद आती हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि we feel connected to the stories, we feel that they are real. Some are inspired, okay, fine. Maybe the movie Dangal and all are inspired, fine. Not all movies are inspired. It is that art of that storytelling plus the direction of the director, in which good actors do the acting, that brings about that whole thing on the screen for us, and we start believing it कि हाँ, एंड वो कैरेक्टर्स हमारे दिमाग में रह जाते हैं. आप खुद अपने आप से पूछो आपकी कौन सी फेवरेट मूवी है. इवन इफ यू सी द मूवी एवेंजर्स और एनीथिंग, ऑल दीज आर फिक्शनल कैरेक्टर्स. हमको वो कैरेक्टर्स रियल लगने लगते हैं कि हाँ ऐसा है, दुनिया में कोई आएगा, बचाएगा. Isn't it? So this is the art of storytelling. If you have the uh, you have a inclination for it, why don't you write in this in these days. Write some, you start from one paragraph, two paragraph, be it anything, Hindi, English, it's up to you. And then you start imagining. Basically, that was Harry Potter, and she became successful. So you should never allow your imagination to diminish. Go for it. Write what you feel like. Don't bother what the others say. And stop thinking what दूसरे क्या कहेंगे. Then फिर तो बिल्कुल हो ही नहीं सकता कुछ. Try something new in your life. You're in the growing stage, and as you start writing, you will find that your English is getting better, your language is getting better, because you start searching for new words. आपको खुद लगेगा इसको और better लिख सकता हूँ या लिख सकती हूँ, and you'll become more creative. So this was a beautiful thing. This girl, Rohini Vij. If you want, you can note down the name, and I'm just typing the other name. That was Nilesh Mishra. Mishra. He's also got a wonderful voice, and obviously he brings real age and all, whom we get inspired. Such stories also he brings into. You can follow him on YouTube also if you want. He's a good person. Tells wonderful real life stories. I heard only one or two of his on YouTube. So that was, he's in Hindi, and this girl which I found was in English. My voice is not clear. Why is my voice not clear? Ramisha, is my voice clear?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is
Okay.
clear.
Fine. So, did I do the attendance? I'll take it once again. Attendance. Yeah, Rishabh, he has just joined. कि तुम पहले से थे. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll can start with the fifth chapter. What's the name of the fifth chapter?
The fourth chapter.
Fourth chapter. Okay, sorry. Have I left the meeting? One second. The chapter's name is, what's the chapter's name?
In the kingdoms of
The Kingdom of Fools. I'm searching for the summary of this. Yes, this is the summary. Yes. Anyone who wants to? Karthik, do you want to read the story? The summary? Are you there, Karthik? Anyone? Ramisha?
Shall
Yes, ma'am.
Half will do. Harish, you can do the second half. I'll tell her to stop in between. And first half, you start.
Yes, ma'am. In the Kingdom of Fools is an interesting story of a kingdom run by a foolish king. One day, a saint and his disciple reached the kingdom.
Disciple.
The saint, disciple,
Disciple.
the saint was astonished to see that the people were sleeping during the day and worked during the night. He was disturbed to see that all the food items in the kingdom was costed the same. One, one doodoo. He analyzed that it was a kingdom of fools and ordered his disciple to leave the place. The disciple did not leave with his guru as he was lured by the abundance of cheap food. One day, a man approached the king for justice. He claimed that his brother was committing his ancient trade of theft, and during that, the wall of man's house fell on him and he died. He asked the king to get him compensated. As the king was foolish, he did not analyze that the dead man was a criminal. On the contrary, he tried all the people who were involved in the death of the thief. The rich merchant, who was the owner of the house whose wall had broken, the man who had built the wall, the dancing girl,
Next line, Harish, you continue, okay?
due to whom the builder had built a weak wall, and the goldsmith, because of whom the dancing girl had to move around in the street that day.
Finally, the king decided that the merchant's father was the real culprit, as he was dead and his son had inherited all his property, so he would also get punished in place of his father. Another turn of events takes place when the minister feels that the merchant is too thin to be killed by the stake. The king orders his men to find a fat person who could be punished in place of the merchant. As the disciple and had become very fat, the, mer- the men took him to the king. The innocent man prayed to his guru for help. The guru visualizes that his disciple is in trouble and reaches to save him. He uses his intelligence and wisdom to trap the foolish king. Finally, the king and his minister get themselves killed by the stake in the place of the guru and his disciple. The people of the kingdom beg the guru that to become his disciple to become their new king and minister. The guru agreed on the condition that the kingdom would function normally like all other kingdoms did.
Yes, Mitten. So if you see this story, it's a quite an interesting one and a different type of story. And usually questions do come in the annual exam from this story. It's basically, it also tells about the society. Even nowadays, if you see, people start believing, and what one person says blindly, they just follow without using their mind. And if you see the story as it was run by a foolish king, and when a saint and disciple reached over there, the saint advised the disciple not to go against, get engrossed in these people's actions, but he did not believe. And later on, he had to pay the price. So, do you want me to? We'll discuss the question answers next time, or should we do a brief reading of the chapter also? We'll do a brief reading also because we still have time. And it's a Kannada story actually, if you can see. Anyone? Srishti, can you start reading from here? Introduction. Yes, Srishti? Srishti, am I audible?
I'm married.
I'm
Introduction.
married.
Now two are there. Okay, Karthik first. Introduction of the lesson.
Kannada is a regional language mainly spoken in the state of Karnataka. The story of Kannada folk tale. Folk tale is a story which is passed on from one generation to another. It is taken from the book Folk Tales from India, written by A.K. Ramojan.
Ramojan. Continue.
First, first of all, let us discuss the title of the story in the kingdom of fools, which means the state where people are not wise. They are not intelligent. In this story, the king, his ministers, and his advisors are fools. That means that they are not wise and intelligent. When this kind of people rule in the kingdom, then what all happen has been told in this story.
Okay. And you continue the sure. You read the explanation part also.
In the kingdom of fools, both the king and the minister were idiots. Idiots. The people who are not intelligent.
Okay.
In the
These are
kingdom of fools, the
continue.
king and his minister both were unintelligent.
Hmm. Now the next
They
the
didn't.
one second, I'll just explain one thing I want to clear. The black one is your text, the red is the explanation to it. Okay, so do one thing, read only the red part. Okay. Hmm. Start from here. The king.
The king and his minister did not want to run their kingdom like other kings did. So they decided to do something different. They started free, treating night as day and day as night. They ordered that the work which was done at night would be done during the day time, and the work which was done during the daytime will be done during the night time.
Okay. So when the if you see this itself shows that everything is exactly the opposite. Yes. Now read the next red one. They passed.
They passed an order that everyone in the kingdom would work at night. Nobody would sleep at night. The farmers would do farming at night, and the ones who ran businesses would do business at night. As soon as the runs, as soon as the sun rose, everyone would go to sleep. If someone would disobey the order, he would be punished with that.
Okay. Thank you, Karthik. Yes. Now Archie, read from here the people.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
The people were scared that if they do not obey the king's order, they would be sentenced with death penalty. So they so they obeyed the order, although it was very strange. The king and his minister, both the fools, were very happy that all the people in the kingdom were following their order.
Okay. Hmm. Start from here one day.
One day a saint arrived in the kingdom of fools along with one who is disciples.
One
He
of his
saw
Archie, see carefully. One of his disciples.
one of his disciples. He saw that it was a beautiful city. It was a sunny day, but could not find anyone around. They were surprised, and everyone was asleep. And the writer says that not a mouse was
Steering.
stirring. Steering means moving around. They
Hmm.
could not find a single mouse moving around, which means that it was so quiet as everyone. Even the tiniest,
Tiniest.
tiniest, tiniest
Tiny.
creature, the mice were asleep. The people had caught their cattle to sleep during daytime, so everyone, human as well as animal, were sleeping. These two strangers to the kingdom of
Hmm.
fools were not aware that this kind of order had been passed in the city, so they were surprised to see that everyone sleeping during daytime. They kept on wandering around in the whole city as soon as it was night. Everyone woke up and started during their work. Were doing business and farmers were farming.
These businessmen were doing business. Okay.
Yes.
Continue this. Guru.
The Guru and his disciple were very hungry. When the shops opened at night, they went to buy groceries. They were surprised to see that whatever they bought from the shop costed one doodoo. The things were very cheap out there. Whether you buy a big bunch of bananas or buy a big bag of rice,
rice. It costed only one dodo. Everything was at same price in the kingdom of fools. The
Now,
guru and his
do is to do. Actually, it is a South Indian word because I've been brought up in Chennai. To do is money. Even in Dudu, you call it Kannada language for money. पैसे को बुलाते हैं. Okay, the guru. हाँ, you start from here.
the guru and his disciple were very happy because the food in this kingdom was very cheap.
Archie, it is
You
disciple. Disciple.
disciple,
Hmm.
yes, ma'am. The guru and his disciple were very happy because the food in this kingdom was very cheap. You could buy a lot of food just for a rupee. When the guru and his disciple cooked and ate their food, the guru realized that the kingdom was a kingdom of fools and decided not to stay there any longer because it was unsafe for them. The wise guru told his disciple that the place was not right for them and asked them to leave at once.
Okay,
The
thank you.
disciple,
हाँ, Archie,
yes,
very good.
ma'am.
Thank you. Now I would like someone else to continue from here, from this disciple. And one of the boys? Anyone other than Hari
Ma'am, shall
and
I?
Karthik?
Okay.
May I read?
Okay, Damini's voice is sounding good today. Yes, Damini.
The disciple was a foodie. He loved to eat, and that is why he did not want to leave this place because the food was cheap there. Guru tried to make his disciple understand and told him that everyone out there was a fool and was very dangerous. The kingdom would not last for long time, and they could harm them too. This disciple is not
Foresighted.
foresighted like his guru and could not understand what his guru was trying to say. He wanted to live there only and enjoy the cheap food.
Finally,
Finally, the guru left alone, leaving the disciple behind. The disciple stayed back in the kingdom of fools every day. He ate a lot of food, due to which he became fat as a huge bull.
one day,
One day a thief entered of merchant's house. He made a hole in the wall to gain access. When he was about to move out of the house after looting all the things, the wall broke and fell down on his head, and he died there only. The thief's younger brother went to the king and complained that his brother was following his ancient trade.
Mhm.
While he was working, the wall fell on his head and he died. The thief's brother was taking advantage of the king's foolishness. He said that the merchants whose fall has fallen down on his brother was the culprit. He should have made a strong wall. He requested the king to punish the merchant and get compensation for his family.
Did you understand what a fool he was? Usually, if someone is caught, nobody says that my brother is a thief and all. But here, the thief's younger brother, just because he wanted money over his brother's death, he went and complained the king कि वो जो जिनके यहाँ चोरी की थी ना उसकी वॉल ही कच्ची थी तो द मर्चेंट शुड बी पनिश्ड जिसके यहाँ चोरी की कोशिश की गई है उसी को पनिश करो and that's really मतलब stupid. So see what happens next. The king,
The king so foolish that he did not consider the fact that the dead man was committing theft at the time of his death. He only
Dami,
thought that the man died because
it is theft, committing theft. This word, theft. Hmm.
he only
Continue.
theft at the time of his death. He only
Thought.
he only thought that the man died because the wall fell on him, and the owner of the house whose wall fell on him had to be punished. So he called the merchant.
Hmm. As soon as.
As, as soon as the merchant appeared, the king asked his name. The king asked his whether he was at home when the dead man, the thief, was burgling his house. The merchant replied that he was at home only. The thief made a hole in the wall, and when he was trying to go out, the wall fell down on him because it was weak. Then the king told the merchant that he was guilty. He did wrong. Due to his weak wall, the thief died, and not he would be punished. The merchant pleaded in front of the king, requested that, my lord, it was not my fault. The wall weak because the person who made the wall did not construct it properly. Hence, you should punish him. And further, he added that the wall was made during his father's time. The person who built it was very old. He knew him as he lived nearby.
So the king.
So the king sent his soldier to call the bricklayer who built the wall. They tied his hands and feet and brought him in the king's palace. Then king asked him that did he build the wall, and he replied, yes, he did. The king said that the man had built a weak wall. The wall fell on the poor thief's head and killed him. The bricklayer would be punished for this with death. Everyone is passing on the blame to another person. When the king was about to pass an order to execute the bricklayer, he requested the king to listen to him. He agreed that he did not make the wall properly. It was because of a girl who was roaming around in the street and her anklets were making in a jingling sound. Due to her anklets jingle sound, he was not able to concentrate on his work and so built a weak wall. It was not his mistake, it was the fault of the girl. He added that he knew where his dancing girl lived. She should be punished instead of him. The king was satisfied with the bricklayer's explanation. He was convinced with him. He tells that this case is very complicated and will not be able to solve it so easily. He ordered his messenger to get the dancer girl.
Okay, wait, Tamini. I think we should stop over here because you've got another class at. Just remember where we were. Okay, so I think we should stop over here. So, Sairam children will continue from here on Friday. Okay, and take out the answers also of this chapter so that we can complete this chapter on Friday. Okay, so bye and Sairam.
Sarah, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sairam.
Saira ma'am.
Sairam.